and welcome to this. Finally, I'm here to make a drink. I've officially been licensed as a bartender in the state of Minnesota, so now I'm here to make drinks from these two books. But today, right now, we're going to specifically make one from Gotham City Cocktails, which is Batman-themed drinks. Today specifically, I mean, this is all one video, so I don't know what I'm saying today, but we're going to be making the Dark Knight Cap, which should look like this when we're done with it. I hope. I hope. Every cocktailer in Gotham City knows this brooding drink, which is a favorite at bars and restaurants. Amaro is the dark cloak of the spirits world. Here it wraps around scotch to make a highball of great mystery and depth, while bitters add the knockout punch. No matter what catastrophes befall Gotham City, Batman will always be there to save the day, much like this drink. There is no better cocktail with which to toast the Dark Knight. So, cocktails, making cocktails. I'm not very formal at this. This ice is already melting. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it onto this cup. We'll see. We're gonna start with, what? This is already not going well. It's not working for me. Maybe I gotta twist it the other way. There we go, I got some of it. I got two.
That doesn't seem to be working out for you very well.
No, I'm trying. Hush, you're just the cameraman. I know I told you to interject, but don't interject! If it's to make fun of me.
I can do what I want, I'm the cameraman.
Your lack of professionalism is disturbing. Okay, alright, so we finally have a cup full of ice. So, how bartenders professionally pour drinks. We do something called the vertical pour, and that requires these little handy doodads on the lids. They're spout specifically designed so that it doesn't glug when you put it into things. So this right here is Johnny Walker Red Label blended scotch, because this drink calls for 1.5 ounces of scotch. For further reference, ounces are the equivalent to shots. And I know not everybody uses ounces. I know I have a lot of people outside of the United States who follow me. So I will be referring to everything from here on out in terms of shots, because I believe shots are universal. So the vertical pour is, as it is called, vertical. There we go. So it starts with 1.5 ounces of blended scotch. Now these are called jiggers. There are a bunch of different sizes. This is a 1 ounce and a 2 ounce. This is a 3/4 and a 1.5. And here I have 1.5 ounces and an ounce. So we have our scotch. Next, we're going to put in this Amaro Averna, which I think kind of smells like vanilla, but I don't know. And we're gonna go with 1 ounce of that. So again, the fancy little vertical pour. And there we go, and that's what makes it dark, like the night. Next, we are going to put in 2 shots of club soda. This soda is a little bit old. It's been in the fridge for a couple days, so it might not be all that bubbly anymore. But we're gonna try.
Shout out to Canada.
Shout out to Canada! And we need 2 ounces of club soda. 2 shots of club soda, rather. Well, first we gotta stir it. Thanks, bar spoon. So now that we have all this in, we're gonna stir a little drink together. Like so. So usually bartenders use this end of the bar spoon to stir things, because you get less friction, less resistance. I mean, not this, because these are essentially small little big ice cubes, but mine's got a little dinky thing on the end. So that's why I'm not. For those bar aficionados who want to point these things out. Because I know I'm gonna find one of you. I know you're out there, you sons of bitches. All right, next, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. So bitters are hard to describe. This one smells like oranges. Angostura bitters is, oddly enough for being called bitters, it's actually very sweet. And they just kind of liven up a drink. So dashes are fun, because you just go 1, 2, there. You got the dashes. Easy peasy. And now, we top it with a lemon twist. I'm not very good at this Y peeler yet. This is the one thing they didn't teach us in bartending school. So I'm kind of trying to learn. There we go. I almost cut myself, but I got it. And now, because it's a lemon twist, we twist it. And it goes right in. That one did. So now I'm gonna try to do the thing that How to Drink does, where I like smell it and I talk about its flavor and everything. As per last time, I tried this one last night. This is a very alcohol forward beverage. If you like scotch, you're gonna like this bad boy. But you do get those kind of hints of licorice-y kind of vanilla from the Averna and the weird small citrus notes from the Angostura bitters. Obviously the club soda provides a little bit of bubbly. I'm not very good at this, if you couldn't tell. I'll probably get better as time goes on if we do more of these videos. Now, this drink is very, very bitter. Some people like that. They like a good bitter drink. I'm not a fan, personally. I like drinks that are sweet. So, you might be wondering what we're doing with this last bottle that I haven't used yet. So for those of you who like the drink sweeter, this is a little experimenting of my own that I found works very well. This is called Grenadine. You might have heard of it. It's the most common company that makes it is called Roses. And Grenadine is basically kind of weird cherry flavored stuff. It kind of tastes like cherry cough syrup, but like in a good way instead of a bad way. I don't know, it's hard to describe. It adds some sweetness and adds some kind of cherry notes, and cherry goes very well with scotch. So,
it tastes like a very specific cherry candy that I can't name.
Yes.
Off the top of my head.
Now, you might notice I'm not using Roses. I'm using Bar Smiths, and that's because for the more food conscious of us out there, you might look at the label on Roses and see that its first ingredient is high fructose corn syrup. You can also make Grenadine at home, but I'm too lazy. I found this stuff for only $1 more than Roses, and it has entirely no weird ingredients. It's only got cane sugar, water, natural flavor, citric acid, and vegetable juice for coloring. So, how they get the cherry flavor out of that? Got no idea. But, to sweeten up this drink, we're gonna add 3/4 of a shot of Grenadine. And I don't have a thing for this one because I don't think it would fit. There we go. And as you can see, it kind of makes it a little deeper red. We're gonna stir this as well and put one more dash of bitters on it. Usually if I just make this for myself, I'd put in the Grenadine before the bitters so that the bitters still float on the top. So I'm gonna have to reapply my bitters. I'm gonna just do 1 additional dash of bitters for that. I do love me some Angostura bitters. Smell, cameraman. Don't they smell good? That was a small dash, so I did 2. Okay, and now we will try the improved dark nightcap. Much better. That has a slightly deeper flavor to it now because it's got that additional element of the Grenadine that kind of transitions from, you still get that scotch immediately, but it immediately mellows out into a more of a cherry flavor than before where it was just scotch all the way. So yeah, that's the dark nightcap.
I'm Batman.
And jump cut. Aha, you fools. You thought I was going to make all of these at once? I'd spill all over myself and I'm not wasting the precious alcohol you bought me. Also, I hope you enjoyed the new angle. Dragon is currently behind the camera with his phone on a vacuum. It's on a vacuum. I just want you all to know that.
You don't have to tell them how the sausage is made. No one wants to know.
They're gonna know now. If there's one thing I'm known for, it's being entirely unprofessional. Everybody knows that my whole gimmick is held together by cardboard and duct tape.
Hey, I mean, I was gonna hang the phone from the ceiling on a string, so this is much better than how it was before.
That's fair. All right, so our second drink. Also, by the way, if you guys do want to see me slightly tipsy so that I didn't like cheat you out of a good time, go watch the 8th Jackbox stream. If you haven't already, it'll appear somewhere. I forget which side, if I'm mirrored or not. That way. I don't know. I get tipsy, like 3 other people get so drunk off of whiskey. It's the time. It's like, God, remember when we were all underage and couldn't do that on the stream?
No, I mean, I don't at all, because I was, what, 24 when we met?
Yeah.
That's what you and Alamise thought, right?
We did think you were like 25, yeah. All right, anyway. Onward and upward to the drink of today. This one doesn't have a picture, unfortunately. I apologize. Not all of them do. But this is the Burn Cider. Young, worldly, and tech-savvy, the new residents of Gotham City's exploding Burnside neighborhood are ultra-hip. The best local bars and restaurants have taken note of this influx and created a number of drinks for a cohort who wants to hang out with friends but still get back to work later. The most famous of these smart concoctions is called, appropriately enough, the Burnsider. Low in alcohol but high in glam and flavor. It's the signature cocktail for a neighborhood that includes newsworthy movers and shakers like Barbara Gordon. So this drink actually only has a half an ounce of alcohol in it. This is a very low content alcohol drink, and it doesn't even have any hard alcohol. It actually only has a liqueur, which is less alcoholic than your whiskeys or your rums or whatever. So if you're not a huge fan of getting super smashed by the last one, which was 2.5 ounces of alcohol, this might be more your speed. So this one is also way sweeter than the other. Let me just make sure this is shaken up properly, so I don't get really gross, nasty, just top of ginger beer.
Someone can make a gif out of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Alright, so this calls for 5 ounces of ginger beer. Also, I have a very nice champagne glass. It's very fun. I like it. It makes me feel high class. And I'm gonna be pouring really slowly and doing 2 ounces at a time because I'm silly like that.
Now I see why you didn't want me to have multiple angles, is because you didn't want me to zoom in on the spill.
Yes. Yes. Also, for a fun fact, for those of you measuring with jiggers, I could just move over to the one side. Yeah, this is the bigger one. I could just move over to the one side to do this last one, but also I could just stick to this too and fill it about 2/3 of the way full because the bottom's smaller. So if you're gonna do, like, I'll show you with the half ounce later. If you're gonna do that, make sure you do not fill it halfway up. Make sure you fill it more than that. This bottle's a little weird to be fair, which is why I'm spilling so much. Hush. I know you're judging me. All right.
Who, me or the viewer?
Both of you.
That's fair.
5 ounces of ginger beer. Next, we are going to go with Vita Divine Liqueur Triple Sec, which is kind of the standard brand that people use for lots of liqueurs. They have creme de cacao and creme de menthe that people use a lot of the time too. So fun fact, actually, this recipe doesn't technically call for triple sec, it calls for Cointreau, but I learned that Cointreau is actually just a really, really fancy, expensive version of triple sec, and your girl ain't gonna spend that much money like that. So triple sec is one of the most common liqueurs that are used in cocktails. So like, it's famously used in margaritas, it's used in a lot of other things, and it's just alcohol that tastes like oranges. That's literally what it is. So it's pretty popular because people like oranges. Oranges are pretty good. So we're gonna do our little technique. So this is the 3/4. We're gonna, I didn't expect it to pour so fast, the other one didn't pour at all.
Outtake. You wanna do it again?
No, this is fine. This is about a half. It's a little more than a half, but that'll be fine.
Okay.
And then, finally, to top it off, we will have a 1/4 ounce of lemon juice. I'm just gonna guess, honestly, because a 1/4 ounce is really not that much. It's probably about a 1/4 ounce. And then, and I will add more if I want it. Like the last one, we must top this with a peel of lemon. I didn't make myself.
You almost did.
Almost did, but I didn't. And that's the best lemon peel I've gotten, actually. I'll twist that to infuse it. And there we go. Here's the Burnsider. Let's give it a try. Whoa, that's really good. You'll like this one. That's really good. Oh my god. So also, final note for everybody out there. This drink obviously has no ice in it because it's in a champagne glass. And drinks like that don't usually. I prefer my drinks colder. If you like yours lukewarm, sure, okay. I would recommend sticking your ginger beer in the fridge beforehand because you can see mine's really cold, so that it at least is a little bit cold. I'm not a fan of lukewarm drinks, but maybe you are. I don't know. I like champagnes usually drink lukewarm. I don't do that, but I don't know. It's very the ginger and the orange mixed together in a really, really interesting way because they kind of mellow each other out a little bit, but also make the flavors stronger. It's really, really interesting. And of course, there's the lemon juice that kind of puts a little more citrus in that too. So this is a drink for people who like very citrusy beverages and people who are not as fans of as much alcohol content. I'm sure you could probably put some vodka in this if you want it to be more alcoholic for whatever reason, because vodka is pretty non-flavorful, but I think this is just a good like warm-up drink. It's really good. I feel like a classy bitch. And welcome back. Today we're doing our recipe not from Gotham City Cocktails, but we are doing it from the Necronom. Thank you, Wendy Fields, for this wonderful birthday present. I appreciate it. So today we are making the Martini, shaken, not Haster.
Boo.
What? It's funny. Shut up! So, this is a play on a very normal martini. Also, the recipe in this book is entirely wrong because it calls for 4 ounces of gin and 4 ounces of vermouth. This is a 6-ounce glass, and it calls for a cocktail glass. Cocktail glasses are 6 ounces. So you cannot fit that much liquid in there. Please don't try. So, without further ado, we have one special ingredient for this martini. You might be wondering, why is there a bottle of wasabi sauce on the table? And that's because this recipe calls for you to rim the cocktail glass with wasabi sauce. Specifically kikkoman, which I got. So,
You're not going to show that you didn't prep it all in advance and...
Well, now I have to because you made a funny comment.
Exactly, you're fucked now.
Also, it looks like snot. They call for wasabi sauce and not wasabi. I am actually a fan of wasabi, so this might not be as bad as I think it will. I have also never actually rimmed anything with a sauce because it just looks like green snot. Green snot, everybody. Yum, yum, yum. So usually when you rim something, what you do is you take a lemon slice and you run it around the outside, and then, because usually you're rimming it with like salt or sugar or something like that, so then the lemon makes it stick. But this is a sauce. I've also never rimmed with a cocktail glass before. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna dip it in the wasabi sauce, and we're just gonna turn it. We're just gonna turn it gently like this. Oh, this actually turned out really well. I'm surprised. Who'da thunk? Here we go. It's rimmed with wasabi sauce. There. Alright, now I'm gonna get the ice.
Viewers, while she's gone, I wish you could see the expression on my face watching her rim that
disgusting.
with wasabi. I mean, it's gonna be interesting, but it's wasabi.
It's wasabi. Alright, so now, when you are making a shaken drink, so usually martinis are either stirred or shaken. We're gonna go James Bond style and shake it. So when you shake something, to put in a cocktail glass, you want to always chill the cocktail glass beforehand, like for the 2 minutes that you're mixing the drink. Also about our shaker. So there are two kinds of shakers. There's the Boston shaker, which are 2 pieces, and there's the 3-piece shaker, which I have, which has a lid, which you can use to strain it. I think this is lame. I like the actual strainer, which I left in the kitchen and I'll have to go get. But it looks way cooler. So we're gonna use it as a Boston shaker instead because it looks really cool. And I feel like a badass. For actually making a martini, recipes vary. There's lots of different ways to make a martini, but usually on average what you want to do is you want to do about 2 to 2.5 ounces of either gin or vodka. I'm using gin because I love Tattersall, and it gives it a slightly more kind of flowery flavor. If you want something more like just plain, if you want the vermouth to take center stage instead of the hard liquor, go with vodka, because vodka doesn't really have a lot of a taste. Gin has a lot of a taste, so if you don't like gin, use vodka. Anyway, so we're gonna make a slightly smaller martini. We're gonna go 2 shots of gin. We're gonna go half a shot of dry vermouth. Dry vermouth is a wine-based alcohol that is a bunch of herbs, essentially, that have undergone an aging process from what I understand. So it adds kind of a weird earthy flavor to things. Unfortunately, I don't have an olive or a lemon twist to put in the cocktail glass because I'm lame. So we'll be going without today. But yeah, that's shaking. So again, you could use the top of this to strain. I'm not going to because this shit looks cool. So what you do, you grab it like this and you strain. And there we go. The Martini. Shaken, not Haster.
Boo!
Shut up. Let's give this a try. If you want a time, that's a really weird combination because the wasabi is kind of salty in comparison to like the vermouth, which is kind of winey, and the gin, which is really like juniper-y. Yeah, that is not a combination of flavors I would usually put together. I don't even know how to describe that. If you want to know, you'll just have to make it yourself.
Here, give the behind the scenes guy a.
Oh, you want to?
Yeah, swing it around.
Okay. Here you go, cameraman. Take a sip of this shit.
Oh my god! Fuck.
That's really weird.
But hold on though. Isn't it perfect because it's indescribable?
It really is. It really is the perfect,
That's the takeaway.
It really is the perfect Lovecraftian cocktail. He's making
Oh god, that's the aftertaste is the worst part.
It just hits you.
Like when you first sip it, it's kind of alright. But this aftertaste is just terrible.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us for that. Hello, welcome back. Obviously there have been several changes since the last part I recorded. Oddly enough, not that much time has passed. I just got a haircut and set up this shelf in like 2 days.
No, you didn't get a haircut. You got a few of them cut.
Shut up, cameraman. Ignore the man behind the camera. He's unimportant. He's still a presence. So today we're making our last drink of the 4 before hopefully we'll do the next round of drinks. And this one is called the Butler. Other than acknowledging that he grew up in England, Alfred Pennyworth rarely mentions his life before Wayne Manor. What is certain is Alfred's impeccable taste, no doubt shaped by his travels around the world outside Wayne Manor. Although the gin and tonic originated in India among the British soldiers stationed there, the quinine once in tonic prevented malaria. This version is decidedly Southeast Asian inspired. Macrot lime leaves impart a bright flavor that is a great accompaniment to grilled meats. The leaves are readily available in Asian grocery stores and freeze well for later use. So, like the book said, this is a play on a gin and tonic. Gin and tonics are literally one of the most common drinks in existence. Like, it's just gin and tonic water. Every place has their variation on a gin and tonic, and because the recipe is so simple, it's super easy to do fun things with it, like this one. Now I'm gonna cut away as this drink needs a lot of ice, so we do the smashing. Because the recipe specifies, fill it to the top. So this is a highball glass. This is what you put the big boy drinks in. The ones that are largely other things besides alcohol. So ironically, the one with the most liquid in it is usually the least liquorified. Alright, so usually in drink recipes, usually you want to put your base liquor in first. This recipe does not have us doing that. Instead, it tells us to put the lime leaf, the peppercorns, and the lemon peel in first. You guys paid for this. So we're gonna do 2 because they're a little bit small. So we'll stick those in there. And then for whole black peppercorns, you know those like shakers that you can buy the tops with, like the green tops, you can get them at any supermarket. If you just open that up, you can cannibalize the peppercorns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck it, we'll do twice as many. I'm not a big fan of gin and tonic, so I'm hoping I can impart some extra flavor into it. Also, my lemon went bad, so I'm using a little bit of lemon juice instead. This is also supposed to be topped with a cucumber, which went bad as well, because I bought all this stuff 2 weeks ago to make all these drinks and forgot that this was the last one I was making, because I thought I'd make them all in like a week, and that didn't happen.
To think, in order to make the Butler, she needed a Butler because she couldn't do anything right.
You shut up. Okay, so we have our mackerel lime leaf, we have our peppercorns, and we have our lemon peel. So now we're gonna put in 2.5 ounces of gin. Ah, some air got in this one. There we go. 2.5 ounces of gin. That's a lot of gin. I'm using all of my nice gin. I'm sad. It's my favorite. And then we're gonna put in 4 ounces of tonic water. So tonic water is just sparkling water. It's kind of like club soda, but it's got slightly different things in it, from what I'm aware of. Like I said before, this is also supposed to be topped with a cucumber, but alas, it went bad. So here it is, the Butler. Let's give it a try now. It's very gin forward. I hope you like gin. But it is interesting how you can detect those extra flavors added by the peppercorns and the lime leaf and stuff. It's really kind of weird. It's not bad, actually.
Here, audience, take a sip.
No, don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
You do kind of get the that lime leaf and a little bit of the peppercorn in
Yeah,
there.
it's really
It
weird.
is a little
ginny.
carbonated for my taste.
Fair enough.
But it's good.
Yeah. Anyway, the Butler.